I'm tubing it on the YouTube, man. Getting on the YouTube, man. Anyone think I'm blazing up? I'm on the good smoky. Palo Santo, my friends. That is some sacred smoke. This is the only up and smoke going on here right now. If you're new here, I'm Susie and I help people ascend. So if you resonate, feel free to subscribe and jump on board and see where this energy takes you. I'll just wait for some to jump on the live stream. There's all the tribe at. There's all the tribe at this evening, Saturday evening here in Australia. And I had like so much energy coursing through me and I'm like, I'm just going to go live then. Because yeah, what a time to be alive on the earth at this time. How is your life experience at this time, my friends? How is your earth walk? How's your earth walk at this time? Right, my brother. How are you? Good to see you here. How's your earth experience right now, bro? It's crazy, isn't it? Hi, Hashed. Oh, one love to the UK. I love you guys so much. How's your earth walk going? Imagine that, eh? We leave the earth plane. Bumpy, bro. Yeah, not alone, brother. How's that? We leave the earth plane, we go back to spirit. How's your earth walk been? What have you been up to, Susie? Yeah, shit, I've been slaying demons. I've been killing off parasites and worms. I've been trying to hold my frequency, hold my light through all the shadows. Yeah, I've been trying not to slide back into my ego. Yeah, I've been busting through those shadows. Emotional. That's what I mean. It's been bumpy. It's been emotional. It's been everything, hey? Yeah, healing it live right now. You're onto it, bro. That's the emotions are coming and going. You guys notice that it's been like real accelerated? Not that it hasn't been for a while now, but it's been like you'll just get like your high, you're just buzzing, and then bang, it's like a yo-yo these days. You don't know what you're gonna get. That's why the art of surrender right now, friends. The art of surrender, just gotta like lean right into it. Lean right into it. Let it shift. It's crazy. I've been talking to people in my community, all right? I'm just trying to stub out. I found these ones here, okay, I'll show you. These are like Palo Santo, but they're the little like incense cones. I don't have one of the little cone holder thingies, but these are a vibe. I just found these recently, okay? And it's Palo Santo. Normally I like the stick of Palo Santo, but this is the vibe. Because I don't have the little thing for it, I just like stick it in here like that. And that's like my incense holder there, all the sacred smoke goes in. I just smoked myself out earlier, so good. Hey Deborah sis, how are you? How's your earth walk? We'll just say how bumpy and up and down and crazy it's been for all of us. highs and lows. What you can do is just breathe through it. That's what I do, you know. I don't have it all figured out. I just try to live in the present moment as much as I can and just ride the waves as they come. You know, we're here, we're all here. Tribe is together. Even though we're not together physically, yeah, we're together spiritually and we're all connected. I know for myself, when I just tune in, I sit there, I'm tuning into my tribe. I'm tuning into Bryant's energy. I'm tuned into Deborah. I'm tuned into Hashed. We're all tuned in together. And I see us like these pillars of light all around the earth at this time as we're shifting. Because it's such a crazy time. Like, do you ever have those moments on your awakening, on your ascension walk? You have those moments where you're like, shit, like what a time to be alive, because everything is so chaotic and up and down, and it's like an emotional roller coaster. But it's not just that, it's like the internal shift as well. The shifts that you're going through internally. It's like you're going through the healing processes and stuff, but it's like energetically and spiritually, it's like you're leveling up. Your consciousness is expanding and your spiritual abilities and gifts are enhancing as well. Like myself, I've been having some real profound experiences. It's just been like, it's been more intense than usual, but beautiful. Like last night I was laying in bed and I normally meditate before I sleep, and just as I was drifting off, I was seeing like, it was like I was feeling my energy and it's like all the rainbow warrior energy, and it's like we're all just like holding this frequency, this higher frequency, and there's one love to everyone because there's no competition. It's not about that. It's not ego, but we're holding this higher frequency. It was like, because we're the ones that are tuned in, we know, we're aware of this shift. So we're the pillars of light. That's why we do that inner work and that, and we transcend the ego and we embody more of our spirit, we embody more light. So I seen this and I felt it. It was incredible. It was such a beautiful experience. It was like we're just holding this vibration high, and then there was the lower energies down, and then I started seeing the reptilian energies, or the reptilian energies, or the hierarchical Freemasons, or the reptos, or that. It was like tumbling down because our frequency is rising so much. Yeah, together, our frequency is rising so much. So those lower vibrating energies are coming down the more we raise our vibration. And as full on as it is, and as hectic as it is, that's the work that we're doing. That's the work that we're doing, you know. You get me through, guys. I feel so much better with you all here. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, you're not alone. You're never alone, sis. And when you feel that, just tune back into a video, you know, and just, even I encourage you guys to, jump on the comment section and just holler at each other and just be like, yeah, how you doing? And because we're community, we're tribe. So if you're really feeling stuck, go and jump on one of my comments even and just reach out or whatever, and I'll do the best I can, you know. I do the best I can. If we can just reach out when we need to, just tap in, drop someone a love heart or whatever, spread that love. Because you guys are doing the heavy work. We're doing the heavy work. It's a crazy ass time to be alive. There's so much going on. And you see the space weather recently even? It's like we haven't had many solar flares, but all of the other stuff that's going on energetically, people are going on about losing their Wi-Fi, people are getting dizzy, they're experiencing all these symptoms and things. People are just, because that amount of energy, that amount of light that's coming through, that's, you guys are aware of this. You guys have been aware of this for a while, so you know how to navigate through these energies. So you're working with it as the alchemist. That light energy is coming through, you're working with that. So you're becoming pro at that. You're riding those energetic waves. They come in, you're like, bang, that's what's up. It's not like, for a lot of you, you probably realize that, the energy is like maybe a couple of years ago or whatever, you get swayed a fair bit, you'd get dizzy, you'd get the headaches, you'd get the nausea, you feel the anxiety and all that. You're probably noticing more so these days that you're become accustomed to those higher energies, and that's such a beautiful thing because you're becoming more lightweight, you're tuning in energetically to the higher frequencies that are coming in, you see? So that it gets easier. So then the more that you look after your physical body and you try to keep it as clean as possible, I don't expect anyone, even myself, to be perfect on the diet because, yes, sometimes we slip, and it has to be perfect all the time. So take the pressure off yourself, but as long as you're keeping reasonably well, you're looking after your body, you're going to embody that light a lot easier because a lot of people, their vessel is so heavy. They got a lot of, because emotions and traumas and unhealed wounds, that's the frequency of that is very low vibration. So that in the body, in the cells, that's real heavy. So you got that light coming in, the plasma that's coming to break up all the gunk, to raise your vibration, to expand your consciousness, to open your third eye and clear the chakras. When that's coming into the physical body, and the physical body is sick, it's filled with parasites, toxins, and all this nonsense, shitty foods and stuff, it's going to hit it. And that's when you're going to experience like tougher ascension symptoms. A lot of people experiencing the aches and pains, they're having like tinnitus, the ear ringings, they're having a lot of nausea and all these things because their body is struggling to embody that higher frequency that's coming in. So that's why I say body work is where it's at, and grounding. Put your feet on the earth, hug the trees, and ground yourself, and spend time in presence, stillness, solitude, so you recalibrate your energies. Because you go out there now, you have a look, people are really acting up in the community because, like, the drug scene is like not just my community. Like I, research things around the earth and stuff, and people, the addictions are worse than ever. The drug rates, the crime rates, everything, the youth these days. Please pray for the youth, my friends, because that's why I've been putting a lot of energy towards the youth, because they're really hurting at this time, these beautiful babies, because they come in, and a lot of the babies have been coming in for the last, I don't know, since the 2000s or whatever it's been, they're coming in a higher frequency. Like my son Luke was such a high frequency. Luke was very in tune. He would sit there and tell me shit I didn't even know. Luke would be sitting there talking about rabbit holes I didn't even know of back then. Luke will be sitting there like tuned into his intuition, tap into his psychic abilities. So a lot of the kids these days, they have those abilities, but they have no guidance because spirituality, they don't teach spirituality in school. So yeah, how's your earth walk going? Go to earth, they said. They reckon it'd be fun, they said. But unless we have the tools to be able to navigate this time as the earth is shifting. So when we have the tools, bang, now we pass the tools on to the people who want to hear it. You just plant those seeds to the people who don't even want to hear it, because one day it's going to click. But you pass that wisdom and information down to the youth, you know, because they need that. So if you're a light worker right now and you know you're sitting on the fence, like, get to work and just put yourself out there. Just start small. Doesn't need to be, because I know you're thinking big. You're thinking big. I need to help this. And I do that. I want to help mass scale. I want to do a lot for the youth and things as well. I've been wanting to do stuff with the youth for a while now. I've done youth work previously in the past, but to me it's a soft spot for me because I'm a Lukey boy, you see. But I know I'm good for it. I got the medicine. So even if you're just starting off small and just, you know, just do something small for your community or whatever, even if it's like online videos or whatever, you know, just so the kids, because the kids need those role models, because they are hurting the most. Like we've had like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years experience or whatever on this earth walk. They're fresh babies, you know, they're struggling at this time because they're getting confused with their spirituality because they're not educated. The parents aren't educated. How are they going to know? They're not teaching it in schools. They're not teaching this shit elsewhere. You know what I mean? So they need that guidance. They need the healthy role models so they can look up at us and like, shit, this is how we eat correctly then, because all they know is Matrix. All they know is Matrix foods. So then we can take the suffering off them a bit. We can take the load off them just by sharing our wisdom and planting those seeds, you see? So I don't know, that's what my heart's been lately. I've just been like pushing out a lot of love, frequency, and healing, light healing to the kids in my community and around the earth. So if you guys can help out with the light work on that front, just spend time in prayer, in meditation, connect with our tribe, see us together as a big pillar of light spread out all across the earth, and we're pushing that light out and we're spreading that light and love out to all the kids in our community and extend it out to all the elderly and just all of our brothers and sisters. So we raise the vibration because you're built solid. You've been doing this all right. Thanks, sister. You guys are built solid. You guys have been doing this for a while. It's not just new to you. So you know what you're doing with alchemy. You're alchemist and you're getting better and better at your own alchemy. So that means you can spread the energy elsewhere, because I'm not just a shaman. I'm not just a healer. I'm not just an alchemist. You guys are too, because remember, we're vibrational match. You come here, you resonate with what I have to say because you have that frequency within you, the 144,000. The rainbow warriors are here at this time of shift. And yeah, how's your earth walk been? Because it's been hectic as fuck. And yeah, you know, even myself, you know, I still sit there and I still shake my head at the system. I still shake my head at what goes on in my community. You know, it's hard witnessing that at times. It really is. And it's like, you know the earth is changing, everything is shifting, and we're going to a place of liberation and sovereignty. And sovereignty is a personal choice. We choose our own sovereignty. You state that to the universe. You lay your head at night. You know you're sovereign being. No one or nothing can reign over you spiritually or physically or emotionally. So when you got those little whispers come up to your ear, try to toy with you, that ain't even you. That's those low vibrational energies that are trying to pull you into the old earth. You see what I'm saying? The 3D realm, the demonic energies, all those low vibrational energies, all the trauma energies, all the grief energies, all the addiction energies. Think about this, my friends, okay? That's why spiritual hygiene at this time is super important. You gotta walk like that, you gotta get around and bang, you gotta constantly cleanse your energy. Yes, your aura is getting stronger and stronger. You walk around lit like that, but you still have to make sure you're applying your spiritual hygiene. You know, you go out and about, you do whatever you gotta do. You go work, you go to train, whatever you do, but you clear your energy. And I went to a place recently, okay, and it was a very, very dense, and someone was with me and they tuned into that energy and it was super dense, and I felt like we were called to that place to do a bit of light work. And I was correct. It took us at least like the rest of the half of that day to shift our energy because it was that dense. And this is in local communities. You walk around local communities and you get in those pockets. You're walking through those pockets of real dense ass energy. So do the light work there. We shift it, you know. So that's why it's not easy coming on the earth at this time, but we come here to do the light work. So it's like, how can you go and do the external light work if you ain't doing the internal light work? As soon as you have awakened to your spiritual power as a sovereign shaman, as soon as you've awoken to that, bang, now you go in and you do you clear out the filthy from your bloodline, from your lineage, from your DNA, from your cells, and then bang, it's your gift and your honor, and it's your work to do for humanity is to go and do that now. And you don't have to wait to be fully healed. Don't even look like that. Just know you're already healed. Yeah, you've overcome the addiction. Yeah, you've healed the heart. You've forgiven this person and all that. You still go around, you still do that work, because as you're pushing out light work out there to helping the earth heal and shifting energies from dense areas and places and people and things, but then you're receiving energy too. Because remember the law of resonance, right? What you put out there, you receive. So if you're sitting there and you're walking, like a bunch of youth today, this afternoon, a bunch of kids walk past me straight away. I feel the energies, I'm tuned in. So bang, I'm setting a light circle around them, shifting, healing. I'm sitting there, kids is there, no one knows what's going down. Everyone's in there doing their own thing in the mall. Bang, I'm starting yawning. Uh-oh, shifting up. And I feel so honored and blessed, because here I am just offering us like a group of them, like maybe 8 of them. And then I just received a huge light healing. And I'm looking at them, they're all young. They're young and they're getting around like in this world, in this dense world like that. They have no idea. And a lot of them, their parents aren't educated, their aunties, their uncles, their caregivers, whoever, they're uneducated. So that's what I do as a healer, And hello. Hi, Bori Maslu. Hi, Leonie's sister. So that's, that's what I get around and do, because I know how hard and dense and heavy it can be. But, I have the gift of healing. I have the ability to, I'm an alchemist, and so do you guys. So the more you work with energy, the better you become at working with energy. That's why you get to that point. It's like, yeah, it may feel heavy and dense. You get frustrated sometimes. It's full on sometimes, because you want to see humanity shift already, especially when you're at a certain frequency and you're looking in your community and people are still sitting on the 3D, vibrating so low, really stuck thick in it, operating from their ego. They're coming from a place of separation, a place of division, really stuck in the addictions, stuck in the childhood traumas, stuck on blaming the past, sitting there in victim mentality, judging others and all that. You're past that. Well, you're coming out of that, you see. This is where, that's where it can be challenging sometimes, because you just want to see everyone rise up and be in that energy that you're in, But it is what it is. All we can do is witness from a place of compassion and have one love like that. Because sometimes you watch your ego comes forward, you get frustrated because this person, or maybe family member, your spouse or whoever, ain't on the same vibrational frequency as you get frustrated. You can pass that once you're in your heart and I'm in my heart now. This is exactly where they're at. It took you a bit, and it took you your experiences or whatever to get to where you're at today. So you got to make space for them to get to where they need to be, all in due timing, in the right timing for them. And if they choose not to in this lifetime, they're not going to in this lifetime. Many souls, that's why there's been many deaths since all those agendas and all that. That's why there's many deaths there. And yes, the matrix, and yes, all the agendas and the reptilians and all that. But still, divine order too. Because every soul comes in with an entry point, and every soul leaves on an exit point. Like Lukey boy. Lukey came in when he was supposed to, and he was destined to leave when he was supposed to. So then now we look at the mass deaths and things, and the genocide, and people who were losing their lives to massive volcanoes and, terrorist attacks and this and that. We stay in our heart. Yes, it's normal to feel sad. You may grieve just witnessing the chaos in the world, but you come back to your heart and you bless their spirit. Yeah, do it like that. Bless their spirit. Thank you for playing your part, because they're helping another person awaken. When you help another person awaken, you're helping the whole earth shift. Do you see what I mean? So it is peak times, bro. It is really peak times, And it's crazy. Yeah, so I was talking to this guy today at the gym, and we're talking about the water supply. It's cool though, because you're having conversations with randoms, and this is a beautiful thing at this time as well. More people are waking up. Yeah, more people waking up. So I was talking to this guy, and we're talking about the water supply, and then we start talking about food. This dude's telling me he's got the water osmosis system and all that. He's telling me that he's like, I was talking about meat, how I, pay top dollar for, because I get the hormone-free organic grass-fed meat delivered to me that I order from down south where I used to live. I thought, shit, I'm coming here. That's my first thing. I need to make sure I can get my clean food and stuff, you know? It didn't have to be that drastic, but to me, I'd rather keep it as clean as possible. I feel better for it. I ain't gonna age because my body's good and I feel good. I feel lightweight, you know? So this guy's telling me he does the same thing and stuff. And I was like, it was a real interesting conversation because I'm up looking at him and people you don't think he was awakened, you know? But he was like pretty awakened. So it was pretty fascinating, you know? Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, Bryant. One love to Lukey boy. Yeah, you know? And I might say to Luke sometimes, I'm like, bruh, what a time. I remember years ago, me and Luke, we used to just sit there, and Luke was always fascinated with worldly events, especially Antarctica. Luke knew things, man. Shit, this boy used to buzz me out. He'll come to me and we'll talk about robots. He'll come to me and show me on the screen, like, Mum, look at this. You know, all the war robots and all these crazy ass robots over in China and that. Luke would come and show me these things, and we'll look at each other and be like, bruh, that's scary. And now today I say to Luke in spirit, so bro, wow, look how quick it happened to all this AI and all that sort of stuff. Like, fuck AI. That's what I gotta say. Excuse my French, but nah. AI is just crazy. It's been taken over. That's what I mean. You look at the state of the world these days and it's like, bang, you're in that frequency, you're in the 5D frequency, but still, you're still looking around because it's like you're in the 5D frequency, but you got your foot on the 3D earth still, and you're looking around. It's still 3D earth in here. We're still using the 3D money. There's still shackles and chains around here, still corrupt policemen, all these organizations. It's like you got your foot in it, like physically on the 3D matrix slavery world. But spiritually, it's like you're floating on the 5D, you're in your heart, you're one love, you're like in tune spiritually and all that. It's a real weird place to be, don't you reckon? It's like, it's real weird, eh? But yeah, like the AI and stuff, it's just crazy. Like even, like even in the supermarkets, like, the self-serve at the supermarkets or those AI ones, they go in there to self-serve, beep, 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 at the supermarket. I never even use those things. I'll wait, I don't care. I'll stand there, wait half an hour, one item. I don't care, I'm going to stand there because I'm going to stay true. That's me, I'm going to stay true. I'm not going to feed that beast system. Even people say to me, oh, yeah, but you only got one thing. I don't care. That's cultivating patience. If you need to cultivate patience, well, that's where you're going to get it. I've cultivated patience over the years. Just that's an example. People stand there, start sweating, oh shit, I gotta wait. I've got Doris in front of me, got old Harry in front of me, got all their groceries and all that. Yeah, well, there's an AI there that's serving people. You can choose the AI lane, or you can stay true to yourself and sit there and just be patient and go with the flow. That's what helps at this time, when you just go with the flow and just know that everything's gonna work out. 100, bro, because everything is gonna work out. We get impatient sometimes, that's just the ego. But yeah, it's crazy. I still walk around, I shake my head still. It's just sad though. It's sad what you witness in the community. You just wish people were just, I don't know, some people choosing not to evolve though. Some people choosing to step up, choosing to better their life in terms of how they feel. It's not about going out there, and you don't even have to go and do things externally like that. You can service humanity by becoming a better person, When you become a better person, you start treating people equally. That's you serving humanity. It's what people don't know. People don't realize. When you walk around like that in your heart space, you're not judgmental. You're getting around, you check in with people in your community. You walk past someone, you smile. Even half time, you ain't going to get a smile back because people are so lost and confused. People are so traumatized these days. When you walk past someone even and you smile at them, just a friendly gesture, just to bring some light to their day, some people don't even know what to do with that. It's really sad. That's right, brother. We have to be the light. I've walked past strangers all the time. I smile at them. How are you? How you doing? And they look at me like I'm ready to shank them. I'm like, shit, that's how bad it got. That's sad. So they're the things that, to me, it's like, oh, I just want to see the earth healed already. But it's a process. It's a process. We just got to go with the flow, And patience is really going to benefit us, because patience with your health. If you're trying to mend your health, you're still trying to bring your body back to back to balance. Look at all the traumas and things we've been through, my friends. Look how much grief we've been through, my tribe. We've been through so much. How much of a toll did it take on the body? How much did it have effect on your vagus nerve, on your digestive system, on everything, your mind, body, and spirit? So we have to be patient as our body's coming back to balance. Because you think about it, has the body been in balance since childhood? You know what I mean? Or the relationships we went through that was toxic, or the abuse that we've been through as in childhood, all these things along the way, it's thrown the body off balance. So patience is key at this time. Patience with all your processes. Me, I just want to just put out so many different things out in my community, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed because I'm like, oh, I want to do this, but I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I keep pulling myself back to present, like breathe, be patient, because everything is going to work out, and the universe will guide me, and the universe will guide you, my friends. Okay, you have an idea that you want to do that's going to help your community, the universe will guide you with that. The universe is going to put the inspiration on your path. The universe is going to put the right people on your path. So just surrender to that. As long as you already know what you want to do. You may have an idea. All it is at the end of the day is you're putting love and light out. You're going to inspire others. You're going to help others through their awakening processes. You're going to teach them all that you've learned. You know what I mean? Oh, hi, Entertainment 607. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. You guys are the best. You see? So, and that's, that's what we need to do, is we just need to be the light at this time. There's so much darkness around. You look at people in our communities, they're hurting. You look at the youth, they're miserable. They're running amok. I was talking to another guy recently. He's like a security guard. And, we were talking that day, and he was telling me how it's just out of hand. It's the youth. I said, it's worse than ever, huh, bro? He goes, yeah. And it's funny that, because that same morning before I went to the gym, a video popped up on my YouTube newsfeed about the youth over in Melbourne, just getting hectic over there. It's getting worse and worse. So then now I was having the conversation with this guy, and then in my head, for the last couple of weeks, I'm thinking, yeah, but I still feel pulled to do some stuff with youth again. I want to be a good role model. I can be a good role model to the females. I've been through the sexual traumas. I've been through the abuse. I learned to love myself. That's what they need to know. Not just the females, the males. They need to learn to love themselves from a place of purity, not from a place of ego where I love myself. Yeah, I'm on the fucking Snapchat and all this and that, getting external validation. That's what we need to represent for the youngsters. Even in your community, you walk around like that. I get a lot of the young girls in our community, they look up at me and smile, and I smile at them because they can feel my energy, and I look at them, and it's like, even if they look slightly sad, they'll look at me and I look at them, I smile, and it's like they just feel so much better. You know what I mean? So that's how we can just apply that light out into the world, because we come here and it's hard here, but we are built for this. All the experiences that you've been through on your earth walk to this now, right here to this very now moment in no time, has built you, has given you every single thing to make you solid as fuck. That's how solid you are standing here right now. As the earth is shifting, everything's spinning up and down, pole shift, all this and that, you're still standing here solid, holding your light, being that pillar of light, because you went through all that to get to where you are today. Look at your spiritual resume, guys. You know what I mean? Hello, good to see you. Yeah? Look at your spiritual resume. This is in your Akashic record, my friends. Yeah? I'll read you this. I wrote this anyway. I write a fair bit. Just stuff on the ego. And this is, I just thought this is a bit relevant. It's about the ego's fight for survival. So as you endeavor to go inward is where the kingdom to heaven is. You'll recognize the ego as a block. Look at it like a block. It's trying to stop you from accessing your true authentic self, your spirit. So sitting in stillness and being present will open up a passageway for you to enter within. So know this, many years of repressed emotions have been laying dormant within. So as soon as you start to enter, you'll experience the shadow self. The shadows are energy, the energies of trauma, grief, sadness, fear, anger, rage, resentment, guilt, etc. See these simply as they are, which is energy. You may start to feel an emotional response. And this is fine and normal. This is where the true healing can begin. All you have to do is stay present with your experience, whether that be emotionally, physically, or psychologically. Now, the ego, as I mentioned earlier, as a block, will try to divert you away from experiencing and healing the shadow self. It will do this by trying to distract you. Example, you may feel an urge to get up and make a meal, or phone someone, or simply go for a walk or hit the gym. But your goal is integration. So integration of the shadow. So the ego will appear louder until this can, the ego will appear louder, and this can feel challenging at first. But if you keep observing and staying present, you'll have access to your shadow self, and real alchemy will take place. So be with your body, feel what is happening and shifting within. You may yawn, shake, cry, tremble, sway, start twitching, scream, cry. Your breath might change. Allow your body to do exactly what it needs to do. Just observe from neutrality. Your higher self is in full control now, not the ego. You're safe. It's the ego that's telling you that you're not. So the more you apply presence to your everyday life, the more you heal. And remember, feeling is healing. So old behavioral patterns and habits of self-sabotage will shift as long as you stay present and stay connected to your in-body whilst watching the pulls of the ego. As you're in the process of shifting from an old behavioral pattern or addiction, take notice of what sensations are taking place for you. Do you feel irritated, frustrated, scared? Maybe you feel anxious. Is it in your chest, your abdomen? Watch it, feel it, and it will shift. Apply the same method with intrusive thoughts. Just observe them and feel whatever is happening inside your body. So thoughts are just energy too. And watch how the ego is desperately trying to run and push things away. You're the observer and the experiencer. You don't have to try to figure it out. Just be, just surrender. Your body will recalibrate. You will heal. All disease is coming from disharmony in the body. So be still so the old energy can finally be illuminated. And this is soul integration. Self-sabotage is simply an act of the ego. Self-liberation is awareness and enlightenment. Your true self is spirit. So yeah, that's what I wrote down. The ego's fight for survival. So if you can just remember that and apply that, and that's how you access your spirit within. So it's fucking chaotic and hectic out there, and you've seen genocide, you've seen people suffering, you've seen kids in your community hurting. You remember that. You come inward, you stay present so you can shift. So then you embody your spirit. You get around like that because the world needs us to keep embodying more light. You ain't just embodying a little bit of light. You're embodying your full spirit. You're ascending while you're in the physical body still. Yeah? When spirit ascends, they ascend. Luke's free of his body. He's ascended, he's lit, he's healed. But we're ascending through the physical body. So your consciousness is rising and expanding. Christ consciousness, Jesus-like, where you can levitate, where you're going to be walking on water and shit. Because you're coming inward. You're doing the inner work, you're facing the shadows. Shadows are getting lit. You're in your heart now. Your heart's expanding. You're in forgiveness. You're no longer in a place of separation, division. You've mastered alchemy. You've sussed out the ego. You've sussed out other entities, shadows, shadow self, all that. That's what's up. So then your earth experience can be a lot lighter. Because we didn't come here to slip. Yeah, there's times we get knocked from our feet, but we didn't come here to go down. You know? I can't even say that word. Parthenogenesis explains everything. Well, that's nice then. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, and all of the greatest people who had reached enlightenment knew this, because I think a lot of them went through such deep suffering, they decided in the end just to surrender to it. That's what I did. That's where I got to where I'm at. I ain't Gandhi and shit, but I think I'm doing pretty good, because I got to a place where I suffered so much. I got to a place where I just had to surrender in the end. And that was the best thing I did. The art of surrender, man. The art of surrender. That's the best thing I did. Because then there was no more resistance to whatever I was experiencing internally. and externally. And that's where the big shifts happen. Oh, 144's in the house. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, that's where the big shifts happen, you see? So just being with it, going with it. No matter what your challenges are right now on the earth. Your challenges externally, your challenges internally, maybe you're challenging trying to get your body healthy again or whatever. You find your family members or, your friends difficult or whatever. You've got these challenges, but breathe through it, come back in. Don't let the ego pull you, because it's hard. Yes, we know it's challenging at times, but don't listen to that ego. Don't listen to all that. Keep coming back to breath. Be here and just trust that everyone's looked after, even the kids hurting in the community, even the people struggling on drug abuse, and people that are falling for all those government agendas. If the universe is looking after you, all right, this is how I see it. I know the universe is looking after me. If you know that the universe is looking after you, well, then you know the universe is looking after your neighbor. Yeah? You know the universe is looking after your children. You know the universe is looking after your parents. And then, you know that, now you can slide into a state of non-attachment. Then you shift a shitload of suffering that's unnecessary there, because now you're operating from a place of non-attachment. I'm no longer attached to the outcome of, say, my sister's health, for example, or my grandfather's health, for example, because the universe has their back, regardless whether it's their time to cross over, whether they need to go through their health issue to get them to a place of high consciousness or whatever. So you surrender that to the universe. That's flow state, baby. You shift a shitload of unnecessary suffering like that. That's flow state. That's surrender, pure surrender. That's trust. Trust the universe. Trusting. And that's what I do right now. I trust the universe that everything is happening divinely. Because, even if you look like a few years ago, there was so much talk and hype about ascension and the new earth and all that. And I remember, take note, okay, a lot of things that were said a few years ago about the justice system, about the schooling system. Well, the schooling system was meant to be shifted by 2025. This is what I heard years ago. That's what I'm saying. So much nonsense talk out there and false predictions and shit. So I can't go and hold on to anything that's been put out there, because things are going to change and shift regardless, because we're in a new era now. But the thing is, we don't have a time or date. Okay, we don't know when the earth commodity system, the money commodity system, is going to shift. We don't know when the new justice systems are going to be put in place. This is just, I'm being real. We don't know when these new systems are going to be put in place. But we know and we trust that they are going to be put in place, because it's inevitable now. The light that's coming in now, not just the light that's coming through the earth because of the creator, the universe, the solar, the changes, the planetary alignment, the soul activity and all that, but also because of the light that you're embodying and your consciousness that you're expanding and rising. That's going to help the whole earth shift, and it just takes a little bit of time. But I do believe, like in this lifetime, we're already seeing changes. There's small changes, but the biggest change is people's frequencies. That's the biggest thing. That is going to be the changer there. So you cultivate your inner frequency to a higher vibration, a place of love, a place of unity consciousness, a place of Christ consciousness. You're playing your part for the earth at this time. You see? You're playing your part. But don't hold on to these predictions that people are putting out there, because then when they don't come through at a specific time, they've said, well, then bang, you're feeling disappointed now. You're feeling disheartened now. You don't want to feel disheartened on your walk. The earth walk has been hectic as it is. I'm trying to make it easier for myself here. I'm trying to make it easier for you guys. We all want it to feel a bit easier. So that's a state of mind too. So that's non-attachment, that's surrender, and it comes to faith and trust. I know one day that the earth is going to be green again. I know one day that humanity is going to have a nice clean water supply again. Shit. I know one day that people will have access to clean, healthy food again. I know one day people will have access to their spirit. We ain't got to wait around for med beds and all that. The more we know ourselves, the more we understand energy, the more we understand alchemy, we're self-healers. We We don't need to wait for the technologies to come to the scene for us to be healed, whether it's through a med bed or some other fancy technology. Because if you're waiting around, you're still waiting around. You can't wait around. You can't wait for a savior. You're going to be waiting around. Who knows when that hidden technology is even going to come forward? You're going to let another 10 years pass by and stuff? Bro, we are the med bed. That's what I'm saying. We don't need all that savior stuff. We step up for us. That's what I mean, my friends. We're that powerful. I just want to keep empowering you guys to remember how powerful you are. And when you know that, you take that and you run with that. Every day you know that. You wake up, you rise, you look in that fucking mirror and you own who you are. You're a powerful God, sovereign being. You don't need anyone to tell you otherwise. You're going to trigger a lot of people on your walk. People underestimate you. People have no idea. You know how many men disrespect me, come up to me, think I'm like that, gonna open my legs up and all that shit? They have no fucking idea who I am. Come up to me and talk to me like that. They have no idea. They just look at the external you. You look cool, you look hip, yeah, you're sexy, whatever the fuck it is. But they don't realize your frequency. They don't realize you're here doing God's work. You're like an angel in the human flesh. People don't realize that's you, my friends. Use it in your heart. You're doing everything you can to shift your internal frequency. You know, you're welcome, Hashead. Very welcome. I'm glad you're here, Kaylee. Yeah, you guys are onto it, you know. So we don't need to hand our power away. We wake up every day and remember how powerful you are. What are your spiritual rituals? You could sit there and be like, I didn't even know what to call this video, but I was just laughing. I was just like laughing before I set this live, and I just called it Go to Earth. They said it'll be fun, they said, because it was humorous. Because I'm sitting there talking to spirit. I'm like, oh yeah, Susie, how was your Earth walk? And I'm like, yeah, well, I've been slaying demons, I've been killing intestinal parasites, I've been working on forgiveness, forgiving people when I should be shanking them. Nah. It's crazy. You know, I didn't even know what to label it. I just thought it was funny. But here we are and we're doing it. We didn't get around like that. War never solved war. Really? That's why to me it's like, look, karma's karma. I could have put matters in my own hands several times on my journey, my friends. Okay? Are you joined because of the title? Well, welcome. I hope you can resonate. I never put matters into my own hands after Luke's death. I never went and seek to inflict harm or take out another human being when people told me you should take that man out. Fuck no, that's not me. That's never been me. I may have done some dumb shit in the past when I was younger. I may have been in my ego a little bit when I was younger, but there's no way I would inflict pain on another human being no matter what. And I used to say, someone touches my son, yeah, that's what's up. But when it came to crunch, that's not me. I stayed pure. I'm here. I'm a representation of God. I'm a representation of Jesus Christ. I can't walk on water yet, but I'm holding that code, baby. And that's you. That's why you're here. You see? Because karma's karma. And people that have done you wrong and all that, the law of resonance, what you put out there, it's going to come back to you. So we can let go. We can surrender to that. I don't even wish ill will on people who have inflicted harm on me or my child. Never once. And people buzz out with that. How the fuck do you be so forgiving? Actually, it took me a while to cultivate forgiveness. There was a lot of hard work with that. But I realised I can sit there and be in my ego and bust my head and sit there and play victim and suffer and suffer and suffer, or I could surrender to life and what life gave me. Life handed me this deck. Life handed me these cards. I said, thank you, God, then, because it's all happened for a reason. Especially when I lost my son. I had that moment, I said to the universe, fucking really? That's what's up? That's what I needed to evolve? Shit. And then eventually I got to a point, I was like, well, thank you, universe. Thanks for that. And you'll get there. No matter what you're going through. You may be suffering right now, but you'll get to that point where you're going to be thankful for everything. Doesn't matter how hard it's been on your earth walk. It's been hard, it's been brutal, you've been sideswiped, you've been smacked, you've been like right hooked, everything. But shit, you get to that point where you just skim along gracefully. You're going to have moments where your ego's pulling you because you're tired of seeing the suffering in your community. But you return back to self, back to your spirit, back to your higher self, and you're grateful because you're here holding the light and witnessing humanity shift. You're witnessing a whole earth shift. Most importantly, you're witnessing your own shift. Because have a look where you are now. You're not where you were 10 years ago. Look how much you've evolved since 2 years ago. Look how much you've evolved over the years. Look how much you evolved since like last year even. Last January. Look how much you've evolved since then. How much more wisdom you've attained. How much more spiritual energy that you've shifted. How much of your spiritual gifts and abilities, what I'm trying to say, that you've enhanced, that you've tapped into. And it's just the beginning. That's how I see it. I ain't trying to like tap out on the earth walk anytime soon. I'm 40. I've still got years and years and years in me. I'm going to see it turn green again. That's what's up. That's what's up. No? I hope you guys are staying hydrated. Yeah, a lot of people are getting dizzy out there because they're not hydrated enough. So much light's coming through, so much energy shifting. Oh, thank you. So much energy shifting. They're not drinking enough water. You need to drink that water, my friends. Find your balance with water. I used to drink 4 litres a day. Now I've cut back to maybe about 3.5 because I'll start to get dehydrated. I think I was drinking too much. So I'll go through stages. I'll go through stages with my water. I'll go through stages with my eating, all that. So find what works for you. That's what's up, brother. Thanks, bro. Don't make me blush. That's good. I'm glad you guys are here. Laurie's sister, it's been a minute. I'm just getting here. I just observed 8 years without my nephew, Jantan. He checked himself out because he couldn't stop the pain. Oh, bless you, darling. Bless your nephew. Well, that's the thing, you know. That's why Lukey tapped out. You know, some souls got to tap out. You know, could have been a crash, could have been cancer. Tapping out's another option. It's not our option though. We're still here. We hold the light. You know, we give support to the ones who have tapped out, to their loved ones left behind, because we get it. A lot of us here have lost loved ones due to tapping out. I don't even know if you could say the suicide word these days on YouTube before this fucking censorship. You can't even be real talk anymore. I'll still speak though. But you know, I'm one of the lucky mums. I said this recently. I'm one of the lucky mums because I know why my son tapped out. But a lot of parents or brothers or sisters or family members or friends have no idea why their loved ones tapped out. And it's sad. So Laurie, you know, you hold medicine. You know, you're a medicine lady too. You hold the medicine. You can help others because you've been through so much grief, sister. You've been through so much pain. You know? Oh, one love, Kaylee. Good to see you here. See you next time. Oh, Laurie's sending healing to everyone. And right back to you, sister. And Kaylee says, I'm going to keep holding the light. Beautiful, because you are the light. Don't lose hope, my friends. Hold on to faith. Like I said, just the size of the mustard seed. You need that sometimes. Just hold on to that. Jump onto one of the videos here and just recap. Or just go and drop a line to one of our community members and say hello. Drop a love heart. That's what I do. I jump on every now and then and just go and add a love heart on one of you guys' comments just to let you know that I'm thinking of yous. You know, that's my way of like keeping connected in between making videos. I'll go through sometimes and just drop a heart again on one of your comments or whatever. This, when you notice that, it's just me pushing out love. Be like, yeah, bro, I'm here. We got each other at this time. You know, it may feel lonely on this walk. You don't have people who can resonate in your local community, your family members. You like the lone wolf in your community holding the fucking light. But look at us here. We're connected. You know, that's one thing I can thank technology for. You know, yep. Trust and faith is everything, my beautiful friends. All right. Well, I hope that was a bit of medicinal for you guys. I think I'll read another one of these things. I'm going to read the one on addiction. Because some of y'all are still working through the addiction. Because the addiction is the ego, okay? It's all ego. So whatever your addiction you're trying to bust through, whether it's the phone screen addiction, the cigarettes, the bud, the weed, the alcohol, the junk food, the pornography, whatever. So addiction is just the ego, okay? The ego is stopping you from accessing your authentic self. So stay present with the urge, all right? Stay present with the urge. Stay present with the impulse. Feel your body. Breathe into your experience. There's an old energy that's just wanting to be shifted. So every time you give in to the urge, you lost an opportunity to release and heal the old energy. Know that you're safe to feel and experience your emotions. Trust your body's ability to dissolve the old pain. Addiction is a blanket to the pain. So breathe as the blanket lifts. Feel as the blanket lifts. Experience this fully so you can finally heal. And observe the ego. It will trick you to believe it's okay to be self-sabotaging. It will make you think you are rewarding yourself, or you've earned it, or make you try another day. The ego grip will loosen. Stay present though, and go inward, breathe, and experience fully your experience. This too shall pass. You'll start to dissolve the old behavioral patterns of addiction, which is the ego. Okay? So apply that and say goodbye, adioso to the addictions, my beautiful tribe. And that's all for tonight, my beautiful friends. Laurie's finally traveling to sunny Florida from New York, headed to ocean to purge and reset. Oof, that's going to be powerful. Bring that water spirit in, baby, because that's very powerful. And you're going to have a good purge and you're going to feel so much lighter. And then you can maybe fly to Australia and come visit me. Oh, beautiful. All right, my beautiful friends. Stay blessed. Stay in the light. And know that you're going to the top. And it's only going to get better. Go to Earth, they said. It'll be fun, they said. But it's fucking amazing. Because we're helping the whole Earth shift. I'm not just doing that. You're doing that too, my beautiful people. Now that's fucking magnificent. So go and celebrate yourselves today, my beautiful friends. You're fucking amazing. That's what I'm trying to say. One love. See you soon. See you soon, my beautiful friends.